It does make it quite special to not only rekindle my relationship with the college like I'm doing right now, but to be in the room with my classmates, class of 1984, my sorors of Mu Pi, and my neighbors from long ago, and then new friends. So it's quite an honor. And, you know, I had a chance to address you all earlier, but this one comes with deep thanks. Because as many of you can imagine that sometimes when you get on podiums, you know, you look out in the audience and no one looks back at you that either looks like you or has a sense of urgency and is counting you in. And so as I heard, you know, the other awardees come up, I mean, I'm just like bleeding looking at them saying, man, you know, we're doing it. And I get to look at them, and you all are looking at us in the same way. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And I wish for the day when there are more rooms that look like this at different parts of our world. And I get that opportunity when I look out and see the students of Spelman College. And so I want to thank my sisters of not only the LA chapter, but of all of the alums. But more than anything else, I want to let you know that this college is in good hands, and not just with me, but we have a fantastic board of trustees. We have alums that show up on campus with everything. Their treasures are so huge. The biggest treasure they give us is their brains. They come on campus. Many of you all come back and give back to these young women. And let me tell you, they want more from you. They want to see you. They love you. And being in this room like this and me being awarded, I can go back and tell them stories because I spent a lot of time with our young women. Just a little story here, you know, we have a president's residence on the college campus, and I decided to move all the furniture out. And we have sessions with all the young women, probably 3 or 4 nights a week, and we let the professors come in and teach. And I'm telling you, there is nothing like it. You know, we've got the wisdom scholars. They come in and they have their Wednesday nights together, all the way through to our presidential scholars, our Coca-Cola Foundation scholars, and these young women just love being together. I wish more of them could be in this room like this, but it reminds me of what it's like to be an alum. So I have another story to take back to them and tell them. So over the course of my career, like many of you all, receiving many awards and accolades, it is something to be recognized amongst people like Judge Maybelline Ephraim. Dr. Carlos McGehee, I like that because she needs 2 E's on her name for everything she's done. Where is she? She gets both of those. And to Ashley Jackson, so Ashley, for you, my goodness, I want you back on campus. You got to come talk to our young women because you embody everything we want our young women to be. So you got to come back. I'm coming to get you. So as I accept this award, I reflect on my journey at Spelman and the many roles I've had the privilege to play. As a first-generation college graduate, when someone asked earlier to raise your hand, I was one of those. Not only was I one of those, but when I was at Spelman, there were 4 of us. There's 5 in my family. 4 of us were in college at one time. In my sophomore year, my family said, okay, when you come home for Christmas, just pack it all up because we're done. We can't afford everybody at this point. And so I had fallen deeply in love with Spelman. There was no way I was going to mop the floor. I'd be back there in Alma Upshaw. I was going to do something because I was not leaving Spelman College. Went over to that financial aid offices, peeled through all of the files my own self, and found a scholarship. And this one gentleman said his wife had passed away, and he provided a scholarship to anyone involved deeply in community service. So having left Detroit, I was very much involved in the community there. And then when I came to Spelman, you know, we're right outside the gates of the Carrie Still Pitts home, and there is no reason for you not to be in that community around Spelman. That community needs us as much as we need them. So I was always over there doing something. So this gentleman gave me a full ride to Spelman after my sophomore year. The other thing he did was that he came back and he held me accountable. He would come to campus and he'd say, I want to talk to her. What are you doing? Are you still doing this? You should do that. And it was amazing. And this gentleman, he he helped me raise my standard along with Spelman. And that's what it's like when you're at Spelman. That doesn't happen on every college campus. But when I tell you Spelman is top of mind for people who care about people like us, that's us. And so I'm deeply grateful, because without that, I wouldn't be here. So as a proud alumni, I've championed this institution every chance I get. So yes, I have been a class ambassador most years of our reunion, but also too, I was a trustee for 17 years. I chaired the board for 12. I chaired 2 campaigns and 3 presidential searches. So I know the institution really well, but it's because Spelman is deeply ingrained in me. It is my everything. And which, when I say, stay ready, it's always been in my heart. I never thought I'd be in this role as interim president. Glad to be here. But I will also say that even if they didn't ask me to do this, I'd be somewhere sticking my hands in something at Spelman, making sure that it's successful. And I want to make sure all of you all know that in the role, out of the role, I'm Spelman strong. And so I'll always be somewhere in Spelman's deep stead. When I think about the trajectory of my life, it feels truly surreal. I've had the rare privilege of witnessing my own life's journey played out in front of me, and now I have the opportunity to give back to this institution. So when I drive through the gates of Spelman today, I think about the 2 children I've raised. I think about the companies that I've run. I think about how I've actually bled for these companies that I've run. But in every one of them, I tried to leave a legacy of inclusion. I fought for inclusion until I got pushed out. So some people say, well, why did you leave there? Well, because I had to, right? And so I always said, if I leave somewhere, I bet it's going to be because of something I said. I said that very early on in my life, and it has been true. And so when, your leader looks down on you and say, you know what, you're a little bit too honest, I exit. Right? And so my honesty, my determination, my forthrightness comes from who I became from Detroit, Michigan, and the finishing touches of Spelman College. And so I have never been undaunted, not then, not now, and not ever. So I'm deeply grateful to be here. You all have absolutely no idea how meaningful this is for me. But I take this with me with great pride, and I am truly honored. Thank you so much.